welcome to Legally Speaking with me, Tarun Nangia. Apple has asked the Competition Commission of India to throw out a case which alleges that it has abused its domination of the market and also overpriced apps, because as we all know, it charges a 30% commission for in-app purchases. Now, what are in-app purchases? It could be anything from a newspaper that you download on Apple to any other service that you use. It would be able to charge that much of commission. And that's why it's a common refrain that why apps and services on Apple are expensive. Now you have it because Apple charges a 30% commission, which Android doesn't. So that has set off a series of conversations in urban India where a lot of Apple consumers are concentrated that should the Competition Commission intervene in this matter, or should Apple be, asked to go scot-free, because Apple is saying that it's not a big player and hence can't be, in a sense, asked to fall in line. So I have a team of experts today who knows these issues much better. May I welcome Mr. Atmanan Nadkarni. He is a senior advocate, has served as the Additional Solicitor General of India. I have with me Ranjana Roy Gavai. She's, in a sense, managing partner of RRG and Associates, one of India's leading law firms. And I have with me Abhimanyu Bhadnari, who joins us from London today. Abhimanyu is an advocate. He practiced at the Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court of India. Welcome all of you. And may I request at the outset that Mr. Atmanan Nadkarni open this discussion by laying the ground on such issues, because there are numerous discussions on dominant minority. What does it mean? So Apple is something which interests all of us. I think maybe on the panel, all of us are users of Apple. What does that mean? What does this app purchase issue mean for all of us?
Well, Tarun, if I have to start and when I say something on it, in all fairness, I have a mixed feeling about both things. There are advantages, there are disadvantages, and there are points which are in favor of either of it. The fact remains that 30% commission can simply, actually create some sort of, barrier for an app developer. In the sense, that they may get late to come to the market also. This would in turn harm the consumers, and it will hurt the competition. In the sense, the cost of the app development itself will go up. It will affect the customers. Now, it will be a kind of a barrier to the market entry if we are going to have a free market in the information technology. Now, at the same time, if you see Apple, what is Apple's contribution to the entire economy today? We have about 500 million phones and, connections, out of which their total standing today is only about 2%, not much. Though, in all fairness, I must tell you, in the last 5 years, if you take out the census, their purchase has gone up 500 times as compared to the others. Undoubtedly, Android is the biggest player in the market today, apart from few others also. So, these are kind of, things. The most people are using Android, etc. But either ways, in either ways, if we take a line for the next 5 years, then the second question is whether there should be an app-based platform approach, or it should be simply a platform-based approach. Because the Epic case, which which was there in US, and the European investigation which is going on, all these things, they are in the know-how. So I think I do not know whether, firstly, we should see whether CCI will have the jurisdiction to investigate. It will have a jurisdiction to investigate provided a case is made out. What is the case that is required to be made out for the Competition Commission of India? That also will have to be seen. Because not only insofar as other apps and all those are concerned, today the payment processes, I and you today pay via GPay, Google Pay and all those, this one. We do net banking and etc., all those kind of things. So the payment processes apps are also very important, because if Apple tells you use only this for payment processes, then there are so many other implications coming to it. So these are, mixed things, which either ways it weighs. So one has to really see what it is and what is the level playing field you are going to give to all these operators.
You made a good point.
Ultimately, all this should be in the interest of the consumers. Wherever the consumer is going to be affected drastically, that is where the regulator should come in. Else, you should give them a free field. I mean, they might come out with all such gadgets. I mean, this is what just an introductory thing I wanted to put. And that's what.
Point well taken, but may I add, we did a discussion a couple of years ago on some fines being levied on the company. There were issues of planned redundancy of the phones, that they automatically become slow after a few years. It became a very big issue. We had a lot of lawyers speak on that issue. There have been other issues related to abuse of dominant position. But I'll go to Ranjana Rai Gavai at this point. Ma'am, how do you see this issue?
Thank you, Tarun, for having me on your show. And I'm really happy that I'm joining Mr. Nadkarni and my dear friend Abhimanyu Bhandari. What Mr. Nadkarni has said, I will take it forward, because what he said is making actually a huge sense. And insofar as jurisdiction is concerned, what I have understood that, look, the informant has already informed CCI. CCI has to see prima facie whether there is a case for sending it for the investigation to DGI, Director General of Investigation. And then after the investigation, if it comes out that whether Apple has misused its dominant position, because per se dominance is not a bad thing. You can be a dominant player, but you being in a dominant position, you cannot misuse your dominant position. That is what CCI has to, through its investigation process, come to the conclusion that whether it has misused its dominant position. See, what Mr. Nadkarni is saying is absolutely correct. In 2011, there was a similar kind of investigation initiated by CCI through its DGI. DGI came to the conclusion that, look, for the purpose of misusing the dominant position, two things are very relevant. The market share in terms of a value and volume. Since Apple at that point in time in 2011 only having 2% of market shares in a value and a volume, therefore it dropped the case. But today what Mr. Nadkarni said is very right. I mean, in from 2008 in 2021, the consumers have increased. Their products is very much wider in the market. So we'll have to not only see the market share, we have to also see whether in terms of the value, whether it has increased, and today it is in the dominant position, to misuse that. So therefore, that is very, very important aspect one has to see. This is having said that, like, what are the misuse? I mean, how do you identify the misuse? For that, you'll have to see whether it is allowing other platforms, it is giving the proper information, giving the alternate space.
You got a very important point, which I want to take forward. See, on Apple, there can be only one iStore. The app developers are saying that there is no other platform for them to load their apps. Absolutely. So the entry point is blocked. Secondly, you bought another point of value. So the value of goods they sell, because the phones are priced much higher than the competition, the value must be in billions of dollars. It is rather. So in a sense, it's a dominant player in that category, where app developers are complaining that, it's a barrier to accessing that market because the prices are so high that, they get outpriced. Whereas Apple is saying that 95%, 97% people use Android. So why? I would like to bring in Abhimanyu at this juncture. Abhimanyu, how should we look at this? Because there is no easy solution, but there is a third party, the app developers, complaining. You don't have any other store on Apple. There's just that one app store, and you have set a certain bar, and it involves consumers like you, me, and all of us. How should we look at this issue?
I think the way to look at this issue is that first we need to kind of understand what Apple is arguing. Yes. Apple is arguing that if you look at the Indian market, and really we are concerned in the show more with the Indian market. If you look at the Indian market, then the dominant player here really is Google, because Google controls more than 95% of the market. And Apple is left with 1 or 2% of the market. So Apple is saying that I'm not a dominant player. So, hey, you can't even investigate me because there is no abuse of dominant position because I am not a dominant player. But I think there is a fundamental flaw, as I perceive in this argument. And the fundamental flaw is that one can't look at how many users are using Apple phones compared to how many people are using Google phone or an Android phone or a Samsung phone. I think the relevant question is that Apple actually has 100% market share, because the market here is not how many people are using phones. The market here is that the only iOS, as you rightly said, Tarun, that the only app through which I can download an app in my iPhone is the iOS app. So really, if you look at all iOS users, they have no other alternative but to use the Apple app store to download an app. So really, Apple here has 100% market share. And if one perceives and looks at it from that perspective, then a case of dominant position is made out. So I think that's the preliminary argument. On the larger argument, I think that now the clamor that, you know, this whether it's Google or whether it's Apple, their monopoly in ensuring that, you know, we have to follow their rules and we can only buy app through either the Google Store, Play Store, or the iOS platform is abusive, is now, you know, is now catching popularity, this view. If you look at the recent report published by the Competition Markets Authority in the UK, they've come out with a report, I think in December, where they have categorically said that this is having a significant impact on consumers. On consumers paying higher prices, on consumers being made to kind of, app developers being made to pay an exorbitant fee of 30% as an entry fee. So I think that and I think European Commission has also come out with a preliminary report where they are saying that really this is a problematic issue. And if you look at Google and Apple both, then in most of the markets, they have a duopoly. Either it's Google or it's Apple.
Yes.
And therefore, both of them, by controlling and not allowing users to switch very easily from one store to another, or not allowing a user to go generally to the web to download an app, can be abusive. So I do think that this issue is quite serious.
I want to take this from what you said, Abhimanyu, on the 100% market share point that you made, that once you enter their ecosystem, if I want to download a newspaper or any other thing, there is only one app store. So that's 100%. I'll take this to Mr. Nadkarni. Sir, these are emerging technologies. Governments of yore didn't have to, in a sense, regulate these things because they didn't exist. So for even CCI, I understand, in a sense, this is a challenge, but do you think this merits a thorough investigation? Because even you can't just dismiss it. Do you think we need to investigate to get to an optimum level where the app developers should also be convinced that they have a platform where they can showcase their apps and make it saleable? Do you think that is what is required today? And also the consumers. Consumers can pay. That doesn't mean that they should be made to pay. Because for that newspaper, there is no other app that you can access. It's just the iStore. How do you look at this?
Tarun, you'll have to import the concept of operational advantage and operational burden. For example, I'll tell you, suppose if Abhimanyu, me and Ranjana and you, we want to speak something, very confidential and we don't want it to go into the public domain and leak out. You know what we would say? Chalo, let's do a FaceTime call.
Yes.
Why? Why would people prefer sending messages on BBM or Signal? There are certain operational advantages which may eventually cost an operational burden also. So one can't completely rule out a segment. But having said that, I agree with you that, you can't just go by, and I agree with Abhimanyu and Ranjana also, you can't just go by the principles where the CCI can investigate. Prima facie, it may look, yes, 95% one side, 5%, what are you doing? They're not in a dominant position. That's not the thing. If ultimately the consumers are going to be affected, exploited, or in any way, some implications come on them, then I think this is a case for CCI to at least have a second look or a larger look into deeper things.
Okay. So there is Ranjana, how do you look at this? Can the CCI investigate? I'll ask you, in a sense, why? There are only two players in the market. It's a duopoly, Google or Apple. So consumers has no real choice. Consumer is at the mercy of these people. So when there are only two players, you require the government to come in and regulate. Don't you think so?
Tarun, please look at, there are only two players as of now. So therefore, for the purpose, what is the purpose of this regime having in like CCI? You have to ensure that the new players also come in so that there is a free tradability and there are further opportunities. If we see the instant case, in this case, if we look at the Raghavan committee's finding or recommendations, how the player like this violates, there can be two kind of violations. One, that you misuse your dominant position to prevent other players to come in, or you ensure that you bring in something by which the smaller player doesn't come in. I think in the present case, both the tests are actually satisfied according to me, and therefore I would say that this would be a case where CCI must look into. I'll tell you why. Because today we all are open global village. If similar kind of situation where the Apple has been fined in European Union for more than 500 million US dollars fine, similarly in UK, similarly in Russia and US also, because see, ultimately what is the test which is applicable? The test is your snipe test, where this is the test, economic test, where you have to see whether this particular entity or the enterprise is allowing others to come in, or over the period of time, is that going to lose its consumers, so that there is a space for the new consumers to come in. And here that test clearly demonstrates that the Apple, in case of an Apple, it's not decreasing by numbers. In fact, it is increasing. The users are adding in every day and every night. Therefore, this would be a right test according to me. I'm not representing either of them, like the informant or any of this. Is my personal view as a lawyer. If we apply, because ultimately, as Mr. Nadkarni rightly said, that you'll have to see whether the consumer is finally going to get benefited out of it, or eventually it will get benefited out of it. Because the geographical dominance is important. If you are misusing in whole of India or anywhere, therefore there has to be level playing field. So there is already regime in place. And according to me now, the case in 2011 and the case in 2021 is different, because I'm sure if it is analyzed properly and the data is collected by DGI, then I'm sure there would be the play of numbers. And if we play of numbers, I mean, in terms of a value, then definitely there will be a case made out in this case.
Point very well taken, Ranjana. I'm going to Abhimanyu. I want to ask you two things here. Crores of consumers, billions of dollars of value transacted every year by Apple in this country, which is India. Is fine the solution to such things? Because fining really doesn't solve the issue. We've had app developers complain again and again. Do you think this is a tricky one even for the regulator?
No, this is a tricky one, but I always feel that it's not about fines and penalties. It's about coming out with directions so that they can make suitable amendments, so that the system becomes a more fair and a transparent system, and consumers can take advantage from that. If you look at the recommendations that the Competition Market Association has made, for example, you will see that one of the recommendations they've made is a very simple recommendation, that you allow your users to download apps from web apps, and not only from the Apple Store. I think that would go a very long way to solve the problem. Of course, that would come with other problems and ancillary problems, as Mr. Gadkarni alerts us, of security, of privacy. And Apple might kind of argue that, look, we want to ensure that our ecosystem that we provide the consumers on Apple is a safe ecosystem, and we don't want that consumer to go and download anything from anywhere in the phone, because that may compromise the security of his data in the telephone, which may not be able to control. I don't know. So I think there are arguments both ways, but I think that technology now enables us to come out with a range of solutions to ensure that consumers don't suffer a disadvantage, that web app developers can freely develop apps and send it to consumers who want to purchase that app and use it.
Point very well taken. I don't want to compare this, but Mr. Nadkarni, if this is a case, say the airport operator charging user development fees, and there is a huge uproar, people say we will not pay. Or second case will be taxi operators, Ola, Uber. They have two parties to cater to, one the taxi drivers and the other the consumers. And then they have to balance the fare between them. And that is, where there were complaints and protests by the other. So, wherever these 2-3 parties are involved and consumers are involved, there are disputes. Now, this is landed up with the CCI. Do you think a committee needs to be formed to look into it? a team of experts who understand these businesses much better.
Yeah, Tarun, it is true that there are many stakeholders in anything and everything.
Yes.
Whether it is taxi operator, travel operators, everywhere. But ultimately, as Mahatma Gandhi said, customer is the main important, dominant player in this entire thing. His satisfaction is what counts. And, before I come to whether the committee should be set up, apropos what Abhimanyu said, I must take it further. It is true, Apple has loosened some of the restrictions. I don't know if you have seen it. In the recent past also, they have allowed, developers globally, not only allowing them to use communication, such as, many other facets, different facets, bypassing the app purchase. So Apple has loosened restrictions to a certain extent. But of course, as I told you in the beginning, not only there must be the regulator actively alert in this, in seeing what is being done, but committees after committees will not serve any purpose. Committees only, it's a waste of public time, money and energy. But if not a committee, some regulator who can keep a look on this, who can watch this. Ultimately, a good watchdog is what is required, not a bloodhound. I hope you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. A good watchdog, not a bloodhound. Good point. I go to Ranjana. Ma'am, railway fares don't go up in this country because everybody needs to use railways. Everybody needs railways. Isn't it true for the phone? Even the poorest person on the road uses a phone. A phone has become a necessity. Data has become essential. What is the answer to this quagmire that we have landed ourselves into, where there are only two players in the market and no app developers? App developers now at the mercy of these two players. It's either here or there. Where are we headed from here?
Well, I'll Tarun, see that's a very good example cited by you. When it comes to operating the railways, as you're aware, that the railway is one of the essential services, and therefore, looking at our huge population of more than 120 crores and above, maybe more, 130 crores. So what happens is then that since that's essential services, transport, which is heavily subsidized, that may not be the correct price for ticket as on today. If you see the sleeper class, the general class, then AC 3-tier and then 2-tier and then the first class tickets, it all varies, because this is how then whatever you have collected in terms of that the differential price, this is how you put in for those sleeper class or the general classes. So that is completely government regulated by, because these are essential services. When it comes to telephone, it's for the private users. And if you must have seen, buying the telephone, there are many operators like your Samsung, your Apple. And in addition to that, we have got a Jio. We have got, the cheaper instruments, Jio and all that. There are other Chinese companies like Oppo or Xiaomi and all that. So you have a choice. But when it comes to, the upper segment that for the users there, whatever is the price, in addition to that, the profit is added. Only thing is that making a profit is not a bad thing, but then the profit should not be made in a manner where the consumer is being ripped off economically, right? That is another aspect which CCI looks into. So therefore, comparison between the railway ticket and buying the
telephone is different.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing.
Okay, point well taken. Now, Abhimanyu, before I get you in, I want to ask you two things. Where a user development fee is charged on the airline tickets by the airways, there is a huge hue and cry. You see various airports were privatized and past 2-3 years saw a lot of fight. Now, this is supposedly the top end of the market. Anybody going in this country by airways is considered somebody who can pay. But the government stepped in and said, no, you can't charge this much, you have to charge this much, because people will not pay that much of UDF. Can there be some regulations made in this country which are the guiding principles for these companies? Because in the category, Apple is a dominant, it is a dominant player in the category that it plays in. A lot of players will not use the cheap end phones. They will only use these phones. And in that category, there is only one player. Do you think that's where the real problem lies? And that's why the app developers, because I remember statements by 2-3 leading app developers They say we have nowhere to go. All the big consumers who actually pay money are on these phones, and these phones are charging 30%. So how do we, how do we address that market? We have to go through them. There is no other road to lead to the customer except via the App Store. Only one road and one player and one gatekeeper will decide how much, we pay.
That's precisely the point. And that's why we are in a situation where we just have one or two players or three players who dominate the entire market, because the ecosystem that they've set up on their devices does not allow anybody to penetrate that without agreeing to their terms and conditions. I think that we should have our regulatory body in India come out with a range of directives whereby it's ensured that consumers can download apps from the web instead of just using the App Store. So I think we need a set of directions. This will ensure that, other people can come into the market. Not only web developers, Tarun, other phones can come into the market. The fact that in the entire world, today we just have one or two people dominating the entire civilization shows that there is something wrong, and it needs a serious rethink, not only by regulators here, but regulators all around the world. That why don't we have a Orange coming in? Why don't we have a phone called Grape coming in? Why don't we have different ecosystems? And that is because each ecosystem controls vigorously the content within that ecosystem and the entry restrictions within that ecosystem. So I think that, of course, this is the need of the hour to ensure that we have more players in this sphere.
Point you well taken. Today's discussion was primarily my viewers aimed at gazing into this problem. There are some tunnels in which you get in and there is a long way out. This is one such tunnel. We all don't have the answers. I think even the CCI is mulling over the fact that, can we just throw this case out saying Apple can charge whatever it wants? So it remains to be seen that what happens of this case. We will track this case. It will have a lot of, I just remembered while ending the show that European Commission said that there can be only one kind of charging port all over EU. There can't be, so I think they are having a universal C-type. Even Apple is being forced to do that. Countries are taking various measures. We have to see what happens in this country on these issues. But for today's discussion, I think we'll have to put it to a sweet end. I to thank so much Mr. Nadkarni, Mr. Ranjana Rai Gawai from RRG and Associates, Abhimanyu Bhandari, who joins us from London for this show. Thank you so much for sparing time and joining me at a short notice. I'm sure the viewers would have been enriched by what you shared with them. Thank you so very much.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.